of 1994, the archive flagged a cluster of missing persons reports across several coastal prefectures of northern Japan. The cases were initially classified as voluntary disappearances, seasonal migration, domestic disputes, suicide. The explanations were familiar. The reports were archived, until the individuals began to return. Witnesses described seeing familiar faces standing at the ends of docks or motionless along cliff paths after midnight, sometimes for long periods. They did not respond when spoken to. They did not turn when approached. And when they finally moved, the motion was described as delayed, followed by sudden acceleration. Not the rhythm of a living person, but the rhythm of something restarting, as if waiting for an internal signal to arrive. Patrol officers conducting wellness checks reported doors left open, shoes still wet from seawater, and interiors undisturbed. In several cases, neighbors reported hearing faint sounds from inside the homes, but received no response when knocking. This is Case File 4, an investigation into Cephalopupus necros, an organism that does not replace the body. It occupies it. Unlike conventional parasites, C. necros does not consume host tissue. There is no feeding behavior and no visible trauma. Instead, the organism inserts a dense neural mass at the base of the skull, compressing into the spinal junction where motor pathways converge. From this point, thousands of microfilaments extend into the host's nervous system, interlacing with motor neurons and peripheral tracts. Muscles remain intact. Bones remain intact. Circulation continues. Respiration continues. But the command structure is overwritten. The body remains biologically active while no longer being neurologically self-directed. This method of inhabitation produces a critical limitation. Cephalopods operate through fluid pressure and muscular contraction, not skeletal articulation. When interfacing with a vertebrate structure, fine motor control becomes unreliable. Postural stability fluctuates. Timing errors accumulate. The result is a movement pattern consisting of long, static intervals, followed by brief, forceful surges of motion. Surveillance footage repeatedly shows hosts standing completely still for extended periods, then advancing several meters in a single, uncontrolled burst before freezing again. Joints are frequently driven beyond their natural limits. Knees lock backward under load. Necks tilt past functional range. Shoulders twist unevenly. The organism does not receive pain feedback and therefore does not moderate force. Structural damage accumulates rapidly. Researchers initially assumed host vocalizations were attempts at speech. This is incorrect. C. necros manipulates the lungs directly, forcing air through the larynx without coordination of tongue or facial muscles. The sound produced is a continuous, wet whistle, modulated only by changes in air pressure. To distant observers, this noise often resembles muffled crying or labored breathing. Behavioral modeling suggests this sound functions as a lure. Host viability averages approximately 72 hours. As neural degradation progresses, motor performance declines and internal structural support collapses. At this stage, the organism must exit. Egress typically occurs through soft tissue. the mouth, the eye sockets, the base of the neck. Recovery teams report no external trauma consistent with predation. Instead, the body appears emptied. Without neural tension, muscle groups detach from skeletal anchors. The skin loses structural support and slumps downward. Limbs fold inward under their own weight. Responders describe the remains as deflated. Subsequent marine surveys indicate increasing populations of unidentified cephalopod species near populated coastlines. Neurological adaptations consistent with terrestrial interface have been observed in later specimens. This suggests behavioral learning and optimization of host control. If you observe someone standing unusually still, then advancing in abrupt bursts, if their posture appears strained, as if held together by tension rather than intent, distance is advised. Most encounters are dismissed as fatigue, injury, or shock. Environmental explanations are preferred. Biological explanations arrive later. By the time neurological failure becomes visible, the host has already been abandoned. What remains are secondary indicators. Wet footprints leading nowhere. Doors left partially open. Spaces that no longer remember the body that occupied them. Not every body that stands upright is standing by choice. And not every body that moves is acting on its own.